What's going on, Salem fans? I'm the dude that rolls through the crowd, and welcome back to Days Down Under, Australia's home for all things Days of Our Lives. This week in Salem, emotions exploded. Stephanie completely lost control after nearly shooting Joy Wesley. Relationships are hanging by a thread. Alex is caught in the middle of chaos once again, and secrets are starting to destroy trust across Salem. We've got all the tension building around Philip and Xander, emotional fallout spreading throughout multiple families, and some major questions about who can actually move forward this week in Salem. So, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's roll through Salem. This week started with heavy fallout surrounding Stephanie and Joy. Stephanie was clearly struggling emotionally after everything that's happened recently, and you could feel the pressure building immediately. Joy Wesley found herself caught in an incredibly dangerous moment when Stephanie nearly pulled the trigger during an emotional confrontation. And honestly, Salem fans were shocked. You could see the fear, confusion, and regret hit instantly after it happened. Alex was left trying to calm the entire situation down while also processing his own feelings about everything going on between Stephanie and Joy. And once again, Alex is stuck in the center of drama he didn't fully create, but definitely has to deal with. Meanwhile, Sarah and Xander continue dealing with trust issues, with every conversation between them feeling emotionally loaded. Tuesday focused heavily on emotional consequences. Stephanie tried to explain herself after the confrontation with Joy, but the damage was already done. Trust was completely broken down, and even the people trying to support Stephanie are beginning to worry about how unstable she's become. Meanwhile, Joy is trying to process what happened while also dealing with the emotional pressure surrounding Alex. In Salem being Salem, everybody's opinion is starting to make it worse. Elsewhere, Philip and Xander continued clashing over business control issues. That rivalry is becoming more personal every single week. And honestly, it feels like only a matter of time before something explodes there too. The midweek brought some quieter emotional moments, but the tension never disappeared. Steve and Kayla stepped in to support Stephanie, trying to help her emotionally after everything that's happened. Those scenes were the most important scenes because you could clearly see that Stephanie was struggling with the guilt and fear over how close things came to disaster. Alex also found himself emotionally torn again. He clearly cares for Stephanie, but the situation with Joy has complicated everything. And more to the point, Alex tries to figure things out, it just makes it messier. Meanwhile, Sarah continues wrestling with her feelings for Xander while trying to focus on everything moving forward. But Salem never lets people move on peacefully. Thursday turned the emotional pressure up even more. Joy finally started to speak about the confrontation with Stephanie, and you could feel the tension in the air. Some people sympathize with Stephanie, others think that she went too far. And honestly, both sides kind of make sense. Meanwhile, Philip and Xander's feud continued to escalate, especially with questions about the loyalty, trust, and respect becoming bigger issues. And over with Chad, Kat, and the Demira side of Salem, tensions continued quietly building in the background. You can tell that several storylines are heading towards bigger explosions soon. Whilst Lexi spent time reconnecting with Abe and Theo after returning to Salem, she shared a tense scene with EJ and Kristen. Dr. Rolfe examined Lexi, which became a major mystery element of the storyline. Lexi also created emotional tension between Abe and Paulina, because Abe was struggling between his past and present relationships. Fans online were also heavily reacting to how different and harsher this version of Lexi feels compared to the classic Renee Jones Lexi. And I actually agree. When Renee Jones wasn't returning to the role, I thought they pretty much should have just left Lexi how she was and not bring her back to the show. Same as Beau. When he was brought back, I think that was a waste of time, given the fact that he was only there for 5 minutes and then left. I feel the same way about this character. I don't feel as if she brings that much to the show where we need to have a whole new recast because I don't think fans like it at all. One more thing I actually want to talk about is Johnny and Chanel. Now, that's become really complicated over time because here we are, we have Chanel being diagnosed with cancer and Johnny wanting to support her, she not wanting chemo, but then she wants chemo, and Johnny doesn't want her to have chemo because she's pregnant. But then she decided to have chemo because she received other information from another doctor that actually did have good side, bad matter, because her previous one did not. That's a challenging thing if you have a diagnosis like that. You need a good doctor who's caring and calm and willing to answer your questions. I don't think this doctor was. The first doctor, Dr. George, was. So, look, hopefully, I know that she's not going to be on the program anymore, so maybe this is a way to write her out of the show. But then again, I think Johnny's going as well. So, will another character come in to fill that void? Well, let me know. Then we finish off with Friday's recap. Friday wrapped up the week with emotional fallout everywhere. Stephanie continued trying to rebuild trust after nearly shooting Joy, but some moments in life just can't be erased with an apology. Alex remains emotionally caught between multiple people and multiple responsibilities. Joy is shaken to her core, and Steve and Kayla are deeply worried about Stephanie's mental capacity. Meanwhile, Sarah and Xander, they shared emotionally complicated moments, proving once again that no matter how much history exists between them, unresolved pain changes everything. And Salem heads into another week with relationships hanging by a thread, almost everywhere you look. So the biggest takeaways from the week, the biggest shock of the week by far is Stephanie and Joy. Alex caught in the middle. Alex continues to be trying to hold everything together while relationships around him collapse. We have Xander and Philip. This rivalry is becoming more dangerous and personal every single week. Then we have Sarah. Sarah's emotional conflict. Sarah still can't fully separate herself emotionally from Xander. Salem is divided. People are starting to pick sides across multiple storylines. So that's your Salem recap for the week. I'm the dude that rolls through the crowd. This has been Days Down Under. Thanks for rolling through the crowd with me for another week. If you've enjoyed the episode, make sure you follow the podcast because Salem drama never stops. And trust me, next week is even messier. Until next time, stay safe, stay kind, and remember, in Salem, one bad decision can change everything.